And good morning. It's 7:03 on this Wednesday. It's Veterans Day, November 11th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome. We've been talking about the sunshine and the beautiful mornings. It's beautiful today, if you like liquid sunshine, I guess. But good morning to you. Welcome to our program. And let me welcome Bob McDonald, who's on the phone this morning to talk about Cedar Stone Bank. Cedar Stone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Julia, Donaldson, simple banking, simply better. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. Good to be with you. And Robert tells me y'all had a good time together last week, so thank you for allowing him to come fill in for him.
Yeah, Robert is just a chip off the old block. He's just got banker written all over him, I think.
Well, he loves what he does, and he loves the people with whom he does it with, and he loves coming to see. He called me right after when he was leaving the studio and just was excited about being with you because it's been a while, you know.
Yep.
He's been there with you, so thank you for allowing him to come. And I'm not sure what y'all talked about. We didn't get a chance to discuss that, but he talked about the event that we sponsored at the Two Rivers Mansion last Friday and Saturday.
I honestly don't remember. What I remember was talking about Willie and how much he reminds me of Willie.
Yeah.
What about Two Rivers?
Well, you're familiar with the event in Nashville every year. It's Christmas Village over at the State Fairgrounds, and it's been going on for, decades, and they canceled it this year due to all the COVID stuff. Well, one of the active persons in that organization is a good customer of ours, and so she wanted to do something that was in that same spirit, and so she and a group of people put together the Christmas Village out at Two Rivers Mansion, and it was on the grounds there, and Coleman, it was beautiful weather. Friday and Saturday, beautiful weather, had a lot of good vendors, just a great turnout, and so we just wanted to report on that it all worked out good. We were proud to be the presenting sponsor, and Robert was out there, Melinda was out there. We had a number of folks out there helping, volunteering, working. So, but
an opportunity for you to give back to one of the communities you serve.
Yeah, Robert serves on that board there at the Two Rivers Mansion. He serves on the board and is the treasurer, so he spends a lot of time with that organization. Of course, it's a public-private partnership between local citizens who serve on the board, and it also has some Metro Nashville government support and backing. So it's a really good organization, and there's still some living heirs to the McGavick family, many of whom still come back once a year for the annual gala there, and they are still very philanthropic. And there's a gentleman who lives in South Florida who grew up in that mansion with his family, and it's fun hearing his stories of living in that beautiful place.
Well, good to hear about that, and an opportunity for you again to be a part of the community you serve, and that's one of the really the great things about being in the banking business. I guess you try to be a part of that community, which you play such a big part in.
Well, it is, and it's just part of the industry. And I just finished reading a book not too long ago. Coleman is a book on the history of J.P. Morgan. It talks about how bankers started getting involved in the communities back in the 1920s and 1930s, and that legacy continues today. So it's just we're proud to be a part of it, enjoy helping and supporting, and but it's Coleman, we talked about we're having a good year. We're having a really good year at the bank, and we've had some good growth and some good earnings, and all of our customers are doing well. They're working hard. So 2020 has been a good year, and we're preparing for 2021, as you know. And we think the first few months of 2021 will look a lot like 2020, and then we subscribe to the theory that we should be coming out of this thing with vaccines and so forth. So we're hopeful and confident as we wrap up this year and as we move into the new year.
Well, today, of course, is Veterans Day. Are you open today?
we are not. We are not open today, but we're available to you by electronic banking, telephone banking, remote deposit, banking on the computer, banking online. So you can still do your banking even though the lobbies and drive-thrus are closed. And we certainly want to, at Cedarstone Bank, we want to add our thank you and our admiration to our veterans, and we are thankful for them for this day, and we think about them today as we do every day. But
well, you can certainly get banking done today, just not at the office, which will be closed. But I don't know whether that means. I believe you pretty much got to come in to open up one of those free checking accounts, don't you?
Well, you do. Good segue there, Coleman. You got to come in and do that. So even though you can't come in today, you can come in first thing tomorrow morning. We'll be back open for business, regular hours, and we can talk about that free checking account, which is a really good account. Free checks, free online banking with bill pay, free ATM use anywhere in the world. So it's a great account.
Well, it really is. It's your banner product, and we would be remiss every Wednesday if we don't at least mention that and remind people you can surely bank free at Cedarstone Bank. So, Bob, have a good Veterans Day, and we'll talk with you next Wednesday, okay?
Thank you, Coleman.
All right.
Have a good day.
All right. Bob McDonald, President, CEO, Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, Simple Banking, Simply Better. We're 10 after the hour. Rusty Richardson is here from Cumberland University, and good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
And you brought a guest this morning that is going to be, has a familiar voice to our listening audience, but I'll let people guess after this till you and I get started here. I hope things are going well.
They are, and like Bob said, want to certainly extend our thanks and gratitude to all the veterans on this Veterans Day. We have a lot of Cumberland alumni that have been in the military, and we certainly want to thank and honor all those men and women who have served today.
Yeah, and we got to mention the 40s there, 42, 3, and 4. You weren't around, and I was a little bitty boy, but we've heard all the stories about all the military operation that was headquartered there at Cumberland for a few years.
Yes, just a small group of 850,000 troops trained in those 3 years between 1942 and 1944.
Well, they weren't all around Memorial Hall, but they were all in this area, and that was the headquarters for the operation.
Absolutely, and we were so happy a year ago when we rededicated the monument to those Tennessee maneuvers, and had a big ceremony 1 year ago today to honor that rededication of the monument and the memory of the men and women who served in the Tennessee maneuvers.
Okay, well, get us started here by introducing the gentleman you have brought to be with us this morning.
Thank you. It's my great pleasure, although he's been here many, many times, and as you said, his voice will be very familiar to frequent listeners.
Everybody's wondering who we're talking about.
Everybody's wondering who we're talking about. No, we're not talking about Paul Stum. But it's my pleasure to bring him today. This is the first time he's actually been my guest on the show. Yeah. Our guest is retiring from Cumberland next month after 33 years. And we thought this would be a great time to talk with him, to hear his experiences at Cumberland. And we're so grateful for his great service that he's given to the university all these years. He's even helped to keep Woody Hunt straight. So he's done just a great job, and we're going to be so sorry to see him retire. But my special guest this morning is Coach Mitch Walters.
Mitch, good morning.
Thank you for the kind words, Rusty. And before we get going here, I'd like to also thank all the veterans out there for their service to our country. And being a veteran myself, I think this is one of the few times I've ever had Veterans Day where we didn't have to actually go to work and be at work. So, but thanks to all our veterans out there for their service to our country.
Well, thank you for coming today. And you have been the radio voice of the Cumberland Bulldogs, now the Cumberland Phoenix. You've seen a lot happen in 33 years, and I don't know that you've done that all 33 years, but you've been a part of Cumberland and I guess the athletic department and other things that you've done for that length of time.
Well, first of all, Coleman, Lynn Bogle's the voice of Cumberland Athletics. I just kind of hopped into the driver's seat when Lynn stepped aside. But yeah, It's been a good experience, and I've been blessed to be able to do the radio here over the last 20-some years.
Well, I remember a few times, very few really, that I've had you as a guest, and probably a couple of those was on the telephone. I remember one time I was kind of hurting for a guest, to be honest about it, and I thought of you and called you, and I think you were out of town actually, but called in the next morning, or we might have gotten you 30 minutes ahead of time that day. I've already forgotten, but I appreciate that. At least you were readily available.
Yeah, no problem.
Tell us, I guess, can we just start at the beginning?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Where were you born?
Well, I was born in Frankfurt, Germany. My dad was stationed in the military there, so I was only there 6 months. But I grew up in northern Pennsylvania, right up against the New York State border in Tioga and Potter County.
Yeah. You always had a love for sports?
Well, grew up around it. My parents were teachers, and my dad was a coach and an athletic director, and so it's just something I grew up around, and you're exposed to when you were young. And
yeah, what do you have a favorite one that you played or were a big fan of?
Basketball and baseball were my two favorite sports.
They took over. I mean, they were ahead of football.
Well, our high school actually didn't even have football, Coleman. It was a real small high school. It was K through 12 in the same building, and we had soccer, so we played soccer. Our basketball coach made us play soccer in the fall to get in shape for basketball season.
So you played basketball. Did you play baseball?
Yes,
oh,
yes.
Okay.
No, we didn't have high school baseball back then either. We had the American Legion and the Babe Ruth and that, but high school baseball hadn't been introduced, and during the spring, it's not real conducive to baseball in northern Pennsylvania sometimes.
Look at that clock. It's already 7:15. We got to take a break right here. Mitch Walters is our guest this morning. Rusty Richardson is here, and our program features Cumberland University, of course, each month. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Absolute Kubota and Rental Redmax. They have complete inventory of weed eaters, blowers, hedge trimmers for the commercial user and homeowner with up to a 4-year warranty. 1506 West Main, Absolute Kubota and Rental. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. At least 5 cars are involved in this crash here as we look at it live on 24 eastbound right here at 440. That's why it's backed up on 40 east, trying to get up past Fessler's up to the 24 split. Again, this crash 24 eastbound here at 440. It's not like it's a bad wreck with people hurt or anything. It's just in a really bad spot. Hey, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, call Tony and Nikisha Tate. The Tate team, call today, 554-9795. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
The Dancing Lights of Christmas is back for their 11th annual celebration of the magical Christmas season at the Wilson County Fairgrounds. For just $25 per vehicle, you will experience the dazzling sights and sounds of over 2 million lights synchronized to some rockin' Christmas tunes without ever leaving the safety and comfort of your own vehicle. The Dancing Lights of Christmas, 5 p.m. nightly, November 13th through January 3rd. Don't forget to attend the Modern Maker Holiday Expo for holiday shopping and do-it-yourself workshops, November 13th through the 15th. Attend both events and get discount tickets.
The 2020 Titans have all grown up together. They've had a taste of success in the playoffs, and they're back with Derrick Henry.
Henry 20, Henry 10.
Ryan Tannehill at quarterback.
Tannehill keeping, around right end, driving, he's in.
A stout defense.
Titan ball.
And a head coach in Mike Vrabel who's ready to lead them.
Brought to you by Stephen O. Plumbing and the Jewelers.
LHS, Cumberland University, and the Tennessee Titans. The winning teams are on WANT 98.9.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us here. We're having a lot of fun this morning, really, but we're reminiscing with Mitch Walters, and Rusty Richardson is still with us. Rusty, you've got a few things to wrap up when we get to that point. But Mitch is retiring from Cumberland shortly, end of the year, and we're honoring him as best we can this morning. But how better to honor anybody than get you to tell about their life? So, born in Germany, raised in I believe you said northeastern Pennsylvania?
North central Pennsylvania.
Okay. And you played a little sports in high school, but you had K through 12 all in the same building. What I'm wondering, how did you get to Tennessee?
Good friend of mine who I was stationed in the Army with in Hawaii, Rick Reeves. Rick was the head women's basketball coach at Cumberland, and I was just finishing up. I didn't go to college right out of the military. I went to work for a few years. And but anyway, once I graduated from college, Rick got me down here, and I worked with him for 2 years as his assistant.
Mm-hmm. What'd you do first at Cumberland?
Well, they hired me to be the women's softball coach, start the soccer program, be the women's basketball assistant, and to get my master's in 18 months. And then I became a faculty member as soon as I got my master's.
Well, you were pretty busy there, weren't you?
Well, idle body's a dangerous body, Coleman. Idle mind's a dangerous mind, so it was good.
But you began all this in 1987 here.
Yes. I actually came down right after Christmas 1986 to visit. And I interviewed with Walker Buckaloo, who was the head of, he ran the academic side of things, and Bob Clement was actually the president then. So I came down and interviewed with them, and I had to go back up and student teach that spring. And so as soon as I was done student teaching in May of '87, I got down here.
Of all that you have done at Cumberland, is there one thing that you like the best, or that you hate leaving the most? You enjoy. One of the things I enjoyed the most, Coleman, is just seeing the kids grow. Yeah.
From the time you got them there on campus, and then some of our kids were 2-year kids because they were transfers, that type of thing. But just to see the kids grow and and then go on and be successful in life, or just kind of that's why we do this.
Well, now as we recognize you here this morning, Rusty's given me a little cue sheet here, and it says here you began in 1987, which we've already talked about. You're an intramural director, coached 6 different sports, assistant women's basketball coach, head women's basketball coach, head softball coach, head men's soccer coach, head women's soccer coach. You've done all of that.
Well, you need to back up there with those soccer. That should be soccer chaperone, Coleman, not soccer coach, because you can put what I know about soccer in a thimble. But they needed a coach, and they needed students at that time. And good thing now our soccer programs are in great hands. We have very talented folks over there who are coaching those kids. But I was a chaperone, not a coach.
You were voted Coach of the Year in 1992. Now, what was that in?
It's women's basketball, and that award should have went to Rick Reeves, because he left me some pretty good talent, because Rick left and went down to the University of Florida as an assistant, and I took over for Rick. But it just left me a good bunch of girls, and they were easy to coach. They made me a lot smarter than what I actually was.
Well, you've really you have no doubt grown to love Cumberland University in 33 years, and so you kind of been a man for whatever was needed, it sounds like, especially in the athletic department here. Instructor in physical education in the School of Education, assistant athletic director in 2009, became that. And of course, for the past 22 years, been the voice of Cumberland baseball. So how many times have you gone to the
NAI World Series?
Yeah.
I think we've been 11 times as a group, Coleman. I think I've been 9 times. A couple years I wasn't able. First year down here, the first year they went, 88. I didn't go, and then there was another year, and I didn't go. But I think 9 of the 11 trips we've made. So.
But you have been able to enjoy, along with Coach Hunt and the rest of the coaching staff and the players themselves, winning it all.
Yeah, it's it's great when you see hard work come to fruition, and I can put about 5 people on one hand of the hardest working individuals I've been around in my life, and Woody Hunt is one of them. Our athletic director, Ron Pavin, is another one. But just to see people work that hard, and then, like I say, be able to experience, kind of the fruits of their labor and the success.
You've been able to witness, watch, observe Coach Hunt and the way he does, the way he prepares his team, the way he reacts to even adversity at times in this sort of stuff. You most time agree with what he does?
Yeah, sometimes I've thought many times, and I've people that are close, and we've talked about Woody Hunt is one of the most simple men you will ever come across in your lifetime, but he's also one of the most complex men you'll ever come across in your lifetime. And
explain that a little bit.
Well, just where baseball's concerned, it's been very simple. And I think that's hard for some of the athletes nowadays because they've had so much attention, hitting lessons and all this, mom and dad standing right there with them, that type of thing. But so I think sometimes the kids now, they expect all that. But, the baseball's always been very simple there. It's been very fundamental. And baseball is about as fundamental a game as you're going to. And that's something that bothers me with athletics that I've seen in my time, Coleman, is we're losing the fundamentals. In not just, I think, athletics, but in society. And that, but,
how's he complex?
Just some of the things that people don't know about Woody that he's involved with or interested in or does, he does a lot of things behind the scenes that, he doesn't want people to know in that. But just, you think, here's this sharecropper son from Kentucky, but, he's coming at you with something like this. And, but I don't know. You just have to be around him and that, to, a lot to where you see that in him.
Yeah. Well, you've got to know some of these players, I guess. Of course, they're there for the most 4 years, and they're gone. But and to win it all a few times, 3, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Three championship teams, and that I think is saying a lot for a fairly small institution like Cumberland University.
Mm-hmm. And something else about that too is, they're being around the team a lot through the years. There are more life lessons taught on a daily basis than there is baseball. And, it's rewarding, Coleman, when you see these kids come back or these, the players come back and they say, Coach, we heard what you were saying when we were there, but we weren't listening. He said, now that we're, fathers, businessmen, whatever, in our careers, now we're listening to what you said.
I wish we had another hour to talk, but we've got to wrap it up.
Okay.
What are you going to do? You're retiring at the end of the year. What are you going to do?
I'm going to do things I wanted to do for 35 to 40 years, Coleman, that I haven't been able to do, because if you work in small college athletics during the academic calendar, you're working 50 to 70-hour weeks, and your weekends and that. So just going to enjoy, and I've moved out to Smithville, out in the country out there, and like I say, going to do things I haven't been able to do.
Well, I hope you have an enjoyable retirement. Thanks for being with
Thanks,
us
Coleman.
today. Got to save 3 or 4 minutes here for Rusty to wrap it up, but you've got several things. Tell us quickly here.
Okay, well, first off, I just want to say thanks to Mitch for all he's done for Cumberland and for our students and for our athletes. He's certainly going to be missed because he's been just the backbone of a lot of that program for a lot of years. So, so appreciative.
Coach Hunt's going to miss him.
I'm sure. A couple other things just to wrap up with today. We just had last week our annual colloquium, which are research projects, and people could go on the Cumberland website and look at those presentations. All of them were virtual this year. They were recorded. And there's probably 40 or 50 different videos and topics they can find, everything from how they identified Jeffrey Dahmer by his bite mark and to conspiracy theories and the Trump era, and just a wide assortment of videos. And people can see that on the Cumberland website under the colloquium.
Okay.
We do have our winter term coming up. We're just about to wrap up our fall term. That wraps up the week of Thanksgiving. And as we announced last month, we are offering programs over December and January because we have a long winter break for people that may want to catch up on a class, or if they're from another school, if they want to get a class out of the way. All of those will be virtual classes, online classes, and registration on that is open until December 4th.
Well, that's a great idea there, to make use of that time. And the way you're doing it, then you don't even have to go to class.
Right. So many schools have such a long break because of the COVID. It's a great opportunity to make use of that time as opposed to just sitting around at their home being idle for 2 months.
Right.
Speaking of COVID, we continue to monitor that on a daily basis. As of last week, the number of active cases we had on campus were down to single digits. So unlike Wilson County, which is growing rapidly right now, a high number of new cases, we're still, again, knock on wood, we make it through the next week and a half and finish up the fall semester.
All right. Esports coming to Cumberland?
We just made that announcement, and Mitch knows a lot about that.
No, I don't. I'm proud to say I've never played a video game in my life. I can handle a man or a woman beat me, but not a machine.
Well, this announcement just hit the papers this week. We will be adding esports in the fall of 2021, and that may be a foreign idea to different people or people that aren't familiar with it, but it's one of the fastest growing areas of sports in the country, and there are 140 schools that have esport teams. And when we say esports, they are playing video games and having competitions, and it's just another way to attract a certain type of student to Cumberland.
And I think, who in the world 15 years ago we thought we'd ever have anything like that? But you keep up with the times.
Keep up with the times, and with the skills that our students are coming to us with. A lot of them have those skills, and those are marketable skills when they get out of school in the electronic industry, in the gaming industry, in the military. If you think of your drone pilots that are manning drones from hundreds of miles away, those are those skills that are being developed. So we're excited about that. It's certainly not going to replace some of the bigger sports with the big teams, but we're hoping we can attract 15 or 20 students that may want to come further their education at Cumberland and help us win some national championships in that.
All right. Well, thank you, Rusty, as always, Executive Director of Community Relations and External Affairs, and Mitch Walters, Assistant Athletic Director, Eligibility and Retention. Quite a long title there, but you're going to give that up at the end of the year, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. We appreciate all you've done and for being with us today. And Rusty, thank you again. We'll see you next month.
Thank you, Coleman.
Okay, that's part one of Coleman and Company. Keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And to 7:31, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the lifetime brake pad guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns a vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic. Here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. We've had several accidents out here on 24 near 440. One earlier eastbound, now westbound. Dealing with this one, it's backing up traffic all the way back to Briley. That's slowing down traffic where it's already heavy coming in from Rutherford County up on 24 westbound there, passing Harding Place. Traffic's on the increase even more so here on 65 down through Madison. Hey, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, call Tony and Nikisha Tate, the Tate team. Call 554-9795. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
This is Bob McDonough with Cedar Stone Bank. We know there are times when financial circumstances can be complicated for families and businesses, but we do not believe the solutions need to be. That's why for 15 years we've been delivering simple banking to our customers while still offering all services and products. We're thankful for our customers and the communities that we serve. If you don't bank with us, it would be our pleasure to visit with you and talk about how simple banking is simply better.
Cedar Stone Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Hey, this is State Senator Mark Pody. With everything that's going on, I just want to encourage everybody to please be safe and use common sense as the state begins to reopen. We need to get our economy going again. If you have any underlying pre-existing health conditions or issues, or if you're age 60 or older, you need to use the precautions that you feel are needed. Be patient when you go into your local businesses, and remember, we're all in this together. If you all need any kind of service, please give me a call. This is Mark Pody.
This is Philip Etherly with Absolute Rental and Supply. Whether it's cleaning, painting, remodeling, or simply getting better organized, we have the tools and equipment to get the job done. Scaffolding, paint sprayers, ladders, power saws, portable heaters, temporary lighting, generators, hardwood floor staplers, from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers, Absolute Rental has what you need. Call 615-443-RENT. Absolute Rental and Supply. We have what you need.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Today we do have the chance of a few scattered showers, especially for the first half of the day. By this evening, things do look to dry out. Highs this afternoon will top out in the upper 60s. For Thursday, skies will be a mix of sun and clouds with temperatures climbing into the upper 60s. On Friday, we'll have nothing but bright sunny skies. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's Look at Your Forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part two. Here it is a Wednesday morning. We're ready to talk about absolute rental supply. We've got Philip Etherly here, just chomping at the bit to tell you all about it and get you to come and be one of his customers. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
615-443-RENT, R-E-N-T. That is the number, and you keep that one in mind. Absolute Rental and Supply at 1325 West Main. They're there to serve you Monday through Saturday, and Philip started this 19 years ago, this past June, I believe.
Past June, yeah.
And here it is, a rainy day. What do you do on a rainy day?
We've got a lot to do. We always talk about, it seems like, they're all spring. Every Wednesday I came, it was raining. But anyway, today's a good day to get caught up on things, get some maintenance done on some equipment and all. We'll still have some rentals going out. But the earth moving equipment and stuff like that will slow down today, of course. But I always think when I'm driving out here, well, what am I going to talk about today? And then I heard a deal about the veterans as I was driving, and I get in the parking lot, I see a veteran sticker, and I said, that right there's something I've never mentioned. I don't know, at Absolute Rental, we offer a veterans or a military 10% discount.
Really? You have
I never mentioned that. So it hit me when I'm seeing all this. I said, there's what I can talk about. We very much appreciate our military and thankful for what everybody does. And so we've started that deal probably a couple years ago. Just show us some kind of military ID, and we'll knock 10% off the rental price of anything we have. And like I say, it's just a way we feel like we can kind of say thank you. So,
well, hopefully the veterans will mention that. Sometimes you may get asked that when you're checking out of a place, but as busy as you are, you probably don't think about that sometimes. So it's okay to say, hey, I'm a veteran, I want my 10%.
Exactly, very much so.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, it's with the rain we're getting here, I guess the fall seeding and fixing your lawn, that's about over, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of the end of the process. Of course, right now we're having extremely warm temperatures and all that. The big deal is the ground temperature, and you want to make sure, the ground temperature is like 60 and above, and I think we're still at that. We haven't had any hard freezes or anything like that. So, you can still get by with a little bit as long as, once it starts cooling off a little bit. So, they're saying a cool snap coming in after today, but that's not going to be down below freezing or anything like that. So.
Well, the thing, another good thing you do, you do have you have a wealth of information really that you share with people, and it'd be a good idea. Anything along that line you're going to do, so you're probably going to rent some equipment from you, get some advice at the same time.
Yeah. One thing we're talking about it being cool and all, our 10 heaters, and heaters have already been written out. Somebody's having an outdoor event. It's going to be a little cool. These heaters will help kind of knock the edge off. So those things have already been rented out the last several weekends. So just keep in mind, like I said, we kind of move with the seasons. We talk about it all the time. Holidays are getting ready to start. I've already seen Christmas trees up everywhere. It's kind of shocking me. But our lifts, a lot of people like to decorate their house, and these lifts are a safe way to get up to put lights on the house. So
you even have some extension ladders too, don't you?
Oh yeah, we've got extension ladders, step ladders, all kind of ladders to get up. And like I said, we try to make sure everybody's safe in their application getting up. We don't want somebody trying to get up 20 feet with a 10-foot ladder, that type of deal. So we ask a lot of questions on that as well.
Well, you can go to the website, absoluterental.com, see pretty much your entire inventory there. You just can't rent it there. You have to call 443-RENT and make it. And it's always a good idea, again, just emphasizing this. If you know you're going to want something on a particular day, call ahead of time to make sure you got it reserved.
Yeah, and we can normally always slot somebody in, get it, give us a few days. If we have several pieces of equipment and you call in and you want this, somebody may have it right then, but it's due back by the time you want it. So we'll kind of spend a little time. I'll tell people that all the time. Let me find out when you need it. Let me take your name and number, and I'll call you back after I go over and review all these to make sure one of them will be back at that time. And
Well,
90% of the time it works. We can always feel it.
You got a good system. It is working. You just work to improve it all the time.
Exactly.
And one other thing, if you're in a situation where you don't have the means to transport something that you're renting, you will deliver it for them and
Yes.
come and pick it up.
Yeah, that's one of our biggest assets is our delivery and pickup. For the homeowner, they may not have the proper size vehicle to safely tow it. And for the general contractor, it's a lot of times it's a whole lot cheaper than them sending a truck and two guys down and get hooked up and stop by Hardee's, get a biscuit and so forth and so on. By the time they get to the job, you just call and tell us what time you want it there. We'll have it there. And then when you're done with it, you just call and we'll come pick it up.
All right, and you are honoring veterans all the time with a 10% discount, so ask for it, but you are open today.
That's right. 7
Open
to
for
5.
business today.
Yep.
And have a good one. We'll see you next Wednesday.
All right, thank you.
Philip Etherly, Absolute Rental and Supply, 1325 West Main. Again, the phone number is 615-443-RENT, R-E-N-T. We're 21 before the hour, and Jim Harding joins us this morning with a couple of other people that he has brought to talk about Veterans Day, which is today, and the Veterans Day program and celebration and parade and all that we are going to be doing today. Jim, it's good to see you, and as always, you've given me a cue sheet and something to go by, which always helps. I don't have to worry as much about whatever, but you've got a couple of people that you've brought today, so why don't you introduce the two that are here?
Well, be glad to, Coleman. And let me just say first, Philip Etherly and Absolute Rental, of course, I work with Toys for Tots, and they have for years provided us with storage containers to put stuff in, and really appreciate what they do for the kids at Christmas time. I've got Sabrina C., who is the director of the Wilson County Veterans Service Office. I got that right.
Sabrina, good morning and welcome
Good
again.
morning, how are you?
All right.
And I have an old timer, Bill Moss is here. He's the commander of the VFW post here in town. And Uncle Pete is missing in action. I don't know where Uncle Pete is, but
That's all right. We do without him.
I'll try my best to fill in. And
Well, let me say hello to Bill here.
Sure.
Bill's good to see you.
Nice to be seen. Good to see you.
And you were in education for a long, long time. Said you're
Yes.
retired now.
Yes, sir.
But part of your retirement means being commander of the VFW post here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was elected in June to that position, so it's an honor to do that, and I'm not going to let veterans down. So
Okay. Well, Jim, we are having a Veterans Day parade. We're having a program, and
Yes.
I guess it is pretty much similar to what we've done for a number of years here. Similar.
well, it's going to be similar to what we did in the spring with the Memorial Day. It's going to be a little bit of an abbreviated because of the pandemic and not really trying to have any too big of a thing and get people too close together. But it will be a parade that will start, I think, about 10:30. Want people there around at least by 10 o'clock on Hatton. That's by the library. Anybody that wants to be in the parade that can. It's going to be a little bit abbreviated. I hear the door. That may be Pete coming now. But we are going to have the parade. There'll be a flyover of your favorite aircraft. The Russian and Chinese aircraft will be there. I hope if the weather's not too bad. And here he comes. And then we'll have the Veterans Day program at 11 there at the plaza, and we're going to be inside. It's supposed to scattered showers all day, and it's kind of wet, so we'll be inside the museum there to have the program.
Okay, I guess we can get to that later. I'm just wondering about how you're going to social distance inside there if you have many people, but you're going to limit the number?
Well, normally, I guess with the weather and with the pandemic, we didn't have as big a crowd. We're just expecting a much smaller crowd than we have normally. We'll have 100 or so people, but we didn't have that many just with all the, let's say, the pandemic and all the stuff going on. And there'll be people there, but there just wasn't as big a crowd as we normally get.
What about the parade? By the way, MJ, I think you could go to a break here. She's saying, wait a minute, but if we can go ahead and go to a break, I'm going to set up another mic here for Uncle Pete. and we will we'll proceed accordingly. But he is an important person today because he's the Grand Marshal for the parade, right?
No, worse, he's in charge. He doesn't get any applause.
My dad is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. We'll get to all of that. Are you ready for our break, MJ? Okay, we'll take a break here a little early. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:42. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Absolute Kubota and Rental. They have Red Max, complete inventory, weed eaters, blowers, hedge trimmers for the commercial user and homeowner with up to a 4-year warranty. Located at 1506 West Main in Lebanon. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's still very heavy here on 24 westbound, approaching 440 from that earlier crash. They're trying to clear that up. Talk about wrong place, wrong time. There's just so much traffic volume right here in this general area. You got all that traffic coming in from Rutherford County on 24 westbound here up by 440. Once you get into Nashville, it starts to slow at times there between Haywood Lane all the way up until you get past Briley Parkway. Hey, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, call Tony and Nikisha Tate, the Tate team at 554-9795. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The Pavilion Senior Living residents are inviting you to become their new neighbor. If you're looking for a sign to move, call us at 444-5556 to learn more about the details. Or go to thepavilionseniorliving.com for more information. Or better yet, just drop by 1408 Medical Center Drive right behind Tenova Hospital and see for yourself. You should move here.
Get excited for Christmas as you take a stroll through Fiddler's Grove Historic Village and see the buildings come to life with animated Christmas decorations. Bring your friends and family to enjoy this safe outdoor adventure. CDC guidelines are being followed. Masks encouraged. Hand sanitizing available throughout the walk. Tours available Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now through December 19th. More details at fiddlersgrovetennessee.com. For the love of Tennessee, visit Wilson County and travel safe.
Just Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us here on sort of a rainy Wednesday, Veterans Day, but today, of course, is November 11th, and we have with us, as I said earlier, Jim Harding and Sabrina C., the Director of Wilson County Veterans Service Office. Bill Moss is here, Commander of the VFW, and now Uncle Pete, also known as Haywood P. Norman IV. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
And we do need you and appreciate you being with us. How's that?
Well, I
just
also have a Wednesday morning veterans at the truck stop, and today was one of our guys' birthday, so we were having a little birthday bash, and so I was running just a little bit late. But when you said that but didn't need me, I kicked that old black Dodge in gear and came on.
We could smell the oil coming through the drive.
Well, let's remind everybody there will be a parade. Now, the Veterans Day parade, usually you have people lined up on West Main, on East Main, and especially over in front of the courthouse, First Baptist Church, and all that area there. And it'll probably be that way today, but depending on how much it's raining as to how big a crowd we're going to have. But all that's been taken into consideration, right?
It has. We're looking for some people to come and just sit in their cars and wave at us and things, and they're going to be there in spirit. We understand that, but with COVID and with the weather and with everything else, it's going to be a driving parade, and so there's no marching bands. There's nothing. We've got 2 grand marshals. My dad is one. H.R. Carey is the second one. H.R. Carey, if people remember, just received the Legion of Merit Award from the French government a couple of months ago at a program there at the museum. And then we're going to come back to the museum property and have as he was saying, a small group. Again, because of the COVID, because of the weather, we understand that.
Okay, so the average person, let's say, who just likes to come and see the parade and do that for Veterans Day, if they just want to come and sit in their car somewhere along the parade route, that's probably the best way to do. You don't have to worry about the rain. You can still see the cars and all the other.
You've got
vehicles.
the courthouse parking lot. You've got the First Baptist Church parking lot. You've got a couple other areas along the way around the square and things that they can park. And anybody that comes, we would appreciate it. Anybody that can't come because of the weather, we understand.
All right, well, Haywood P. Norman III, your father, Grand Marshal, along with H.R. Carey, and you say Mr. Carey is 98?
Yes, sir.
I
My
understand.
dad, 94.
Okay. Well, they both lived a very long life, and be a great honor for them. But I'm glad to hear that that's who you've got. The flyover. What that is even with the
That will occur just prior to 11 o'clock, and they'll be going down. They'll make a pass down West Main Street, turn around, and do a flyover coming back towards the museum. And I hope there's not so much overcast that we haven't heard yet, but it looks like it's probably high enough that they can do but there'll be Chinese and Russian fighter planes from World War II. And it's the Red Squadron, is the guys that fly these aircraft. And we may have 4, probably going to be 3, may have 4. Sometimes it depends. I don't know, maybe if they'll start or not. I don't know. I've had a lot of old sports cars, and sometimes it depends upon the weather and the moisture in the air. But it's a pretty neat thing when I've tried to get them to flower bomb something like Hatton, but they won't do it. They got some pretty tight rules they have to go by.
Well, I think we've got 2 here who haven't had a lot to say. But Sabrina C., I'm sure you stay pretty busy at the Veterans Office and do all you can to help the veterans. Probably work with Uncle Pete and no doubt Bill Moss here and others as you need to. But how long have you had this position?
Actually, I'm right at a year. October 16th was my year in the position.
Okay. Well, I hope it's been a good year.
It's been a great year.
And of course, you're right in the middle of all of it when it comes to Veterans Day, a celebration like this.
Absolutely honored to be a part of the team because Veterans Day and every program that's put on is actually just a lot of teamwork. It's normally chaired by one of our local veterans organizations, and we provide whatever support that we need to from our office for that.
Well, any special message you've got that you want to give today, or just the fact that your door is open, regular business hours, I guess, and you're there to do whatever needs to be done?
Yeah, absolutely. So first, I want to talk a little bit about our staff.
Okay.
We've added a licensed clinical social worker to our staff. Her name is Linda Nagum. She's worked with military families for over 30 years. She's there and she's ready to take appointments. She's already been seeing veterans, so we're absolutely proud and ecstatic actually about that. That's a great addition to our office. We also have a new admin assistant. Her name is Sarah Allen, who was just recently certified as a service officer as well. So that will help just streamline our process from the beginning to the end till they reach either myself or Lindsay in the office. We also have, his name is William Barton, but we call him BJ in our office, 25-year veteran. He's there, he serves as another admin assistant, but he helps us do a lot of things as far as local outreach and all of that. Just wanted everybody to know what our office does. Again, we help our veterans and their families get their veterans benefits. That's the surface level of what we do. We serve as advocates on behalf of our veterans to the VA, but we also do homeless veterans, food stamps, Social Security, just a plethora of things. It's like we're all kind of social workers there. But I want to talk a little bit more about if you've been driving around and you see the flags that are lining the local cemeteries. Those were put out last weekend by Wilson Warriors and with the support of the Lebanon High School Air Force ROTC. And we had Tech Sergeant retired Dustin McComas out with the kids, supported by Major Marlowe. It was a great event. Mr. Moss can attest to that. Those guys were a great help and help us get all that. So we absolutely appreciate that and wanted to make sure that we put that information out. And just a few things I'd like to real quick. Friday.
Take your time. We got 8 minutes.
Friday, we are having a lunch and learn. It's going to be sponsored by Avalon Hospice, and they're going to talk to our veterans about their We Honor Veterans program. It'll be great. Come get a free lunch, learn something about their program. But also right now we have set up in the museum is the Tennessee Honor Wall. And that, if you have not been in there, is breathtaking when you come in. It is a wall set up of all of our fallen from
Tennessee proper after 9/11, and it's pictures and letters and notes. So it's really touching to the heart. So if you haven't been in, please make sure you get in to see that this week. We're also going to have our second night at the museum on the 20th of November. We're going to be showing Jim Henson's Turkey Hollow. It'll be great. Uncle Pete has helped us out so much. He's got a popcorn machine, and we have a hot dog roller. So just bring, it's free. We have free hot dogs and free popcorn, and we show a movie.
Yeah.
We're trying to get kids and people out to see the museum. And I also wanted to remind our homeschool and also our virtual students that are on, every other day, the museum is open. So that's a great place to be with them. If they can call us and set up any date with us, that'll be great. And we also have, people keep saying they see us walking around in our I Care for American Heroes. So we have our I Support American Hero t-shirts back in stock, just in red and blue, and they're in the office. So if anybody wants one, you're more than welcome to come and get one. And last but not least, Miss Linda Nagum, who's our licensed clinical social worker, her and Miss Yvonne Johnson have set up a Warrior Widows program, which is amazing. They're going to have their very first event on the 19th of November from 12 to 2 in the museum. I think she's sent out invites, but even though it's called Warrior Widows, it's for widows, So if there are any widows, male or female, out there that just need contact and want to reach out and talk to somebody, please just give the office a call. And when I say that, our office lines are down. They've been down since last week. Our IT department is working really hard on that. We have all of our cell phones posted online. Mine in particular, 615-626-0061 if you need to get in touch with us. But again, great staff, my deputy, Lindsay Roberts, my admin assistant, Sarah Allen, my licensed clinical social worker, it's Miss Linda Nagum, and BJ Barton as our other admin assistant.
Well, we thank you for being with us, for sharing that information with us. Bill, what is on your mind at this moment?
Well, first, it's a real honor to be here and represent the FW Post 5015. Veterans are important to us. We stand on the shoulders of those that came before us. The ones in now are standing on our shoulders, and then we'll pass that along. That tradition is something that is not in a lot of organizations, where you know your past history, but then you're setting yourself up for your future. So that's important. In light of that, Veterans Day is a day of remembrance. We remember the vets that went before us. The people who aren't vets are thanking the vet for the freedoms that they enjoyed. So we sell poppies or give out poppies on Veterans Day, and literally in remembrance. It came out of World War I, and it's just a symbol, an easy symbol. You wear a poppy. You can, at the end of the ceremony today, you can put it at the wall. I just think the poppy is an easy way to say thank you. Mm-hmm. And to all those companies out there, big, small, whatever, that give vets discounts, thank you. Thank you big time.
All right, we got about 3 minutes here, and again, we will have a Veterans Day parade today. We will have a program, and we'll kind of summarize that in a minute. But Jim, you got something you want to say?
Yeah, I just got a text message from Mike Russell, and the weather's not going to allow them to have the flyover. So
okay.
Everybody can, well, next year.
All right, but at 10 o'clock today, the Veterans Day Parade begins on Hatton Street, comes across the square and up to Veterans Plaza, but it's going to be, people will be in vehicles, be sheltered from the rain. It will not be you won't have the marching bands and what we normally do, but we will have that, and you can get along the parade route in your car and watch it that way if you would like. Haywood P. Norman, the third Grand Marshal, along with H.R. Carey, who is 98 and has been honored. They're I guess, co-grand marshals. Is that
Yes,
right? Okay.
yes.
And then the flyover is canceled, we said, but the program, talk about the program, one of
Okay,
you, just a little
we
bit.
need you to line up or be there by the by the library around 10. We're going to leave at 10:30. That way, that gets us at the museum before 11, and because the program begins at 11.
All right, and the program itself, I see here that the Gold Star mothers and families have been invited, they'll be recognized.
Yes, we'll recognize the veterans that are there. The Gold Star families and mothers will be recognized also. And then we'll have a laying of the wreath at the monument, which is kind of the conclusion of the day. We are not going to have a speaker. We just feel like with the crowd size and things and the weather, just best kind of an abbreviated program today to at least get the recognition in.
Right. It's because of the weather primarily,
Yes.
and COVID number 2.
Yeah.
It's not what you normally would have because of that, but certainly, but you got to have something.
Well, we've kind of felt that way. We need to do the best we can and do what we can, and that'll just have to suffice right now. We'll get back on track someday.
Pete, we got 30 seconds. You want to wrap it up?
The main thing is I say, I salute my veterans, my veteran families, the veteran widows. They're the reason we're here. They're the reason that we do what we do.
Well, I want to thank all 4 of you. Jim Harding. And by the way, it says here Jim is representing Mike Meyer, President, Vietnam Veterans of America Post 1004. But you are Master of Ceremonies.
Yeah, and I'm and all these folks are on the committee, and I'm kind of the chairman, somewhat of the chairman of the committee. I have a little bit of control.
And Uncle
a
Pete,
lot.
Commander of American Legion, Post 15. Bill Moss, Commander of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 15 here in Lebanon. And Sabrina C., Director, Wilson County Veterans Service Office. Thank you all for being with us. And I hope you'll join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. And until then, I wish you a wonderful day.